Okay, so this is another video of the second major issue I'm having with the Xbox One. Some of my other videos are about how I couldn't download the Forza game and play it. This one is about how the Xbox One just stops powering the devices. So you may not know this, but you can have the Xbox turn off and on your set-top box, your TV, and your receiver. And down here you can see my receiver still on. My set-top box is actually still on. My TV turns off after a few minutes of inactivity. So just to demonstrate it, let's go ahead and turn off these devices. And just a little while ago, I turned the Xbox off and it didn't power the devices down. So let's turn it on. And the Kinect turns on, very obviously. And it's not trying to, for whatever reason, it's just not turning the devices on. So I can turn them on manually. Let's turn on the TV. And I don't really need anything else just to show that that is actually on. The other thing that happens here is you can see the TV app. If I recall correctly, the second issue that happens, they're related. Both things happen at the same time. Is it just never picks up the TV signal. Now my set-top box is off, but it still sends a signal. It still sends an HDMI signal, which I've seen work many times. But it's now back on. I just powered it back on. Should be showing NBC. And it's just not going to do anything. It's extremely frustrating. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show how I fix it. And this is very reliable. This took a while to figure out. Because, you try a lot of different things. And then eventually you figure out this was the only thing I really had to do. So I'm going to come down and turn off the box. Turn off the Xbox. It is going to turn off the Kinect. And then it's not going to turn off any of my devices. Okay, so it didn't bother turning off any devices or anything. So let's go ahead and turn them off. Okay. And now we'll just reach back here, unplug the Xbox. Now, a lot of times when you talk to support, they say they want you to wait like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 3 days, whatever. I've found that I really only have to count to about 10. Kind of the way I think of it is that, I've put together a lot of my own computers, and when you pull the plug on the motherboard, oftentimes that light on the motherboard, if your motherboard has a light, and most modern ones do these days, it takes about 10 seconds to turn off. So just now, me sitting here talking, that's enough. That's enough time. Despite what support will tell you, I figured a lot more about this myself. I've got it plugged back in. Let's just give it a second. I don't actually think, I'm about 90% sure that when you plug it in, it does not actually turn back on. I will add that my Xbox is in the instant on mode. Now, when I power up after pulling the plug, I imagine it's not coming out of instant on mode. So the first thing that I've noticed that's always different is it takes a long time for it to get around to powering up the Kinect. If I were to go ahead and turn on the TV, I think I would probably see the green Xbox One initialization screen. And that thing takes a little while to get the OS loaded up. So, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, now the Kinect is coming on. And it takes a little bit, but it is going to begin powering my devices again. Just like it does all the rest of the time. I find I have to do this about 2 or 3 times a week. And there it goes. Everything's coming on. This is great. So this is the manual fix for when my Xbox will no longer power my devices. And it's extremely frustrating. And I think along with all the other problems, it's just, I'm getting pretty close to just returning this thing and not being involved in the Xbox ecosystem. going forward. But you can see the TV works, everything works. It's all doing what it's supposed to do, but only after I have to go in there and unplug it. And it sounds like, oh, what are you complaining about? Well, you know, no one else in the family is going to want to do that. So they're just going to say, hey, this Xbox One, it kind of breaks the TV, and can't argue with them after all the other problems I've had too. So let's turn off the Xbox, and it is going to power off all my devices. It's great. So everything's fixed again. And might stay like this for a couple days, and then I could make a new video, and I could repeat this probably for the next few years. Either the Xbox One itself is flawed, or I have a broken console. I don't know which. I feel like I'd see a lot more complaining online if it wasn't just me. It might just be me. Between this and being unable to download Forza 5, maybe I just have a bad console. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to convince that I need a replacement Xbox. So I'll just make a decision in the next couple days over whether to return this thing. So thanks for watching. And there's the issue. Illustrated clear as day, very repeatable. I've got it down to a science now. When it stops working, all I got to do is unplug and replug, which, you know, for a modern device that's supposed to be the center of my living room, it's pretty annoying. All right, have a good one.